It's a Thursday. Welcome on the show. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wale Scott. Now, I don't want to go to my first story yet. I've got Odunayo on the show today. Odunayo, welcome on the show.
Good morning, sir. It's great to be here. And I think it's actually a great time to be a female in Nigeria right now. It's been a week, 1 week long.
Yeah, I'm going to take all of that one by one. But let's start with the Falcons, the Falconets. I didn't expect them. I saw them being robbed, though. But you on your social media have consistently said, yes, they gave a good fight. But I saw them being robbed. Those 2 red cards, I think, were not red cards in that against Morocco.
I think you meant the Super Falcons.
Yes, Super Falcons, yes, yeah.
The Super Falcons, even though they weren't so super in the last tournament. Those 2 red cards, I think they were deserving. Those were needless and reckless tackles. So I think it was just, and I think the senior players of the team, which in the likes of Alimatu Ayinde and Ajibade, they should know better. Those were deserved red cards. No contest at all.
Now, okay, let's look at it this way. Now, what went wrong? We have been African champions like forever. Where did we go wrong in this particular competition?
Well, for me, I think to start with, I think we've not done enough in terms of our developing our football locally. If you look at those players that made it to the tournament, how many of them were local based players? I think we had just only 2 or 1. I think only Monday Gift and 1 other person. So I think we've left the grassroots football. We've not done enough locally. And then in the appointment of our coaches, come on, we were so wrong going for a university college coach. I mean, we are talking about African champions. We are talking about the African players. We need
I was going to go there. I have a friend of mine who used to be in a different TV station. Now he lives in Scotland. Ladi Egbedire, I'm sure you know him. Now, Lado says that why would we go and collect a college coach when we have world-class athletes? Assat is bigger than our coach, really, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Not only Assat. Assat is the biggest player in that team, but I can assure you that even Rashidat Ajibade, even Ngozi Okobi and Onome, they are far, far bigger than our coach. So that's why I said we need to do better in terms of appointing our coaches. I mean, if you think there are no world-class coaches locally, then we should not go for the substandards abroad. We should get the best of the best for the girls. I mean, doesn't mean we actually underrated these girls. Doesn't mean we don't respect them. We are talking about the 9 times African champion here. I don't know if I can say this, or I spoke with one of the senior members of the Super Falcons during the course of at the weekend. I spoke with her and I said, what was her assessment of the coach and all of that. She actually poured out her mind, even though she knows I was going to keep her name out of the discussion. But she is actually an integral member of the Super Falcons. She said they don't learn anything in training. Whatever we saw them do during the WAFCON was actually from their own individual ability. There was nothing they have learned they've not learned anything under Randy Wondrum. So I think at this point, we still have a year going into the World Cup. We still have enough time. Our case is not like the case of the Super Eagles that had Guerrero 5 weeks into the tournament that was sacked. We still have about a year. The World Cup is still in Australia next year, July. So I think the NFF still have a lot of time on their hands to make the changes as regards the coaches. Because for me, I haven't seen anything Randy Wondrum has added to that thing. Tactically, he was lacking behind in many of those games. Against Cameroon, that's the quarterfinal games. It was just our day, and then the Cameroonians, they were not good enough. They didn't have the best of tournament. They actually bullied their way into the quarterfinals, and then they met with us. Our experience, we were able to scale through with our experience. But when we needed is tactical and technical ability against the Moroccans, against 11 women, 9 against 11. We expected him to make some changes just immediately after that red card that was given to Alimatu Ayinde. But what did we get in return? He was waiting. There was no changes whatsoever. For one, I expected him to switch to a back 3, but he didn't do that until Rashidat Ajibade also got another red card. Yet, it was still a little bit confusing. So I think, for me, his appointment is rather very low for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and I don't think we should be going into the World Cup with such a coach.
Now,
especially a coach that the senior players of the team do not have confidence and trust in.
Now, I have always been a big fan a big fan of you based on the way you're a feminist. You actually take the women angle all the way. And I've always said this. Somebody has said, hey, obìnrin nìkan ló mọ̀. Well, I can say that because I only have 2 girls and I'm not able to make a boy. So it's all good. But I've always said the ladies always make us proud. Let's look at Tobi Amushon. Let's look at all the girls. Ese Brume. They've always done it right for us.
It's been our time all week long.
Yes. All weekend, all years.
And aside, yes, especially this week, it just has to be about the women. Right from WAFCON finals, I don't know, many were not too aware that one of our Nigerian referees officiated in the WAFCON finals in the name of Calvin, what's her name again? Mimise Iyoe Onka. She was actually an assistant referee in that WAFCON finals. And then we had the Sebume winning the silver medal in the long jump. And then we had Tobi Amushon breaking the world record. And then we had Asisat Ostrala winning the CAF Awards for a 5th time record. So it's been, I don't know, we must give credit to this women, whether we like it or not. I was saying it somewhere that let's just imagine it was the Super Eagles playing against Morocco with 9 men. Would they have been able to cope? We had to be played for over 50 minutes. Come on. You must give credit to the girls, really. They've been so amazing in terms of lifting up the name of the country.
Now, what I fight for, Odunayo, always on my show, and I don't know if you've noticed that, but I will continue to fight. I won't stop fighting. Serena Williams consistently says that, listen, you guys should get the same amount of pay that the men go through. And I agree. These are women who go through sporting events with their period, cramps and all that, and they still work it out. Women don't go through that kind of thing. Why should we get more? Really?
I didn't get you. I think the network was a bit back. Can you come again with your question, please?
Let me come again. Women, Serena Williams consistently said women should get the same pay with men, if not more, because some of them go through menstrual period, go through cramps, and still go through the sports. Why should the men get more than the females?
I think I don't 100% agree with that, because I know, especially in this part of the world, the women have done more. Even going into the Commonwealth Games and all of that, even before the world record that was broken by her motion, many had more belief in the women athletes. It's always been like that. They've done amazingly well. But for me, I think the men, they have more, they are a bigger brand. They have more sponsors. Yes, we can demand for more pay. When you compare the Super Eagles to the Super Falcons, is the Super Eagles a bigger brand than the Super Falcons? Yes, even though we are record winners of the WAFCON, and the men's we only have 3. But then we have several factors involved. So you cannot just say they should come out and earn more than the men. But then I think it's been better anyway. It's getting better, and I think we are getting there gradually.
Now, Odu, before I let you go on the show, what advice would you give? Let me face the female, the Super Falcons for now. Let me face them and say, okay, good. What would you advise? First of all, you spoke about the coach, and everybody's talking about the coach being just a college coach. What do you advise, and for us to get better?
Just for the Super Falcons, right?
Yes, just for that. Yes.
Yes, we have about a year to go before the World Cup. We still have a lot of time in our hands. Like I said, it's not the same case with the Super Eagles, and they are just only about 5 weeks into the tournament. We still have a year to go, and I think the NFF should take decisions right now. We've not had anything from the NFF because we don't even know the target he was given going into the WAFCON tournament. But then, as 9 times champion, I expected him to have been given the target to win the 10th WAFCON, which that didn't happen. Definitely, he didn't meet up with his target. So I think if we are, like I said, if we think there are no good coaches locally, we shouldn't go for the substandard abroad. Yes, he's a college coach. Even if he's a college, he's not a top-notch coach. We know that. I just told you that one of the senior members of the Super Falcons said they don't learn anything in training. Is this the kind of mindset we want to go into going into the World Cup? I think the NFF need to think again.
Ruth Odunayo, you are always a viewer's delight. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, sir. And keep supporting the women.
I always will. Don't worry. I only have women, so I always will. Now,
Thank you very
the
much.
Women's African Cup of Nations victors, South Africa, celebrated their historic win with President Cyril Ramaphosa. On Tuesday, the team known as Bayana Bayana, the women, were also greeted by hundreds of jubilant fans waving South African flags outside the country's union buildings. Ramaphosa congratulated the team and also thanked them for representing the country well during the African tournament. Now, Bayana Bayana striker Bildar Magnar scored twice as the team claimed their first Women's African Cup of Nations title by beating hosts Morocco 2-1 in Saturday's final. The Cup of Nations serves as the Africa's qualification event for the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand in 2023. South Africa, they finally make it happen. Well, we're leaving very soon on the show, but let me mention something. Jordan and Korea have political ties severed. They're not friends at all. They're not even friends at all. But Jordan and Korea were breaking wooden birds. They came together to show their skills, really. And this is a country that is not okay. We'll go to the next story, of course. Now, Yannick Sinner. Wow. Yannick Sinner still makes it happen at the Croatia Open. Now, that's number 2 seed Yannick Sinner advanced to the quarterfinals of the Croatia Open with 6-4, 6-1 win over Yaun Munar on Wednesday, while number 3 seed Holger Rani was dominated by Bernabe Zapata Miralles. Sinner came out strong, breaking Munar's serve in the opening game. My daughters started to become a taekwondoist from the age of 5. I've always believed in start them young. So I'll leave you today on the show with a 6-year-old who is becoming a champion skateboarder, a legendary skateboarder. Her name is Sharjah. Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica, thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Thank you very much. Now, behind the cameras, you can't see them, but they make you see us. Kayo De Folorunsho, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tayo Ashubiojo, thank you very much, bro. And of course, Francis Indem. I call him Francois. He's always got my back. I can assure you that. Kayode, K, thank you very much. Adura, my prayer. Thank you very much. Body, thank you very much for having my back today. Join us same time tomorrow. Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you, at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.